You you big on patriotism.
Yes, I am. Very patriotic. I love my country.
Are you Jewish?
I am Jewish, yes. What gave it away?
Me too. I don't know. Just subtlety.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah, I am.
Very nice.
I'm half Israeli, but I don't think I'd hang a flag, to be honest, at the
Why?
moment. I think you know the answer to that, if we're being honest.
Are you proud of your roots? Are you proud of that country at all, or do you not like it?
I'm I'm proud of I'm proud of my Jewish identity in the sense that like, I think that coming back from like near extermination to like dominance in like a lot of industries is really impressive. But no, I don't really support. I mean, even from a biblical sense, I don't really support Israel. Like considering that, like you know, we're only supposed to return to Israel with the return of the Messiah, which like hasn't, like, you know what I mean. Well, I mean that's more Christian, but anyway, that's yeah. I just I sound like I'm just chatting out my ass now, but
No, I mean, I don't like to argue from a biblical aspect that it was our land promised to us by God.
yeah,
I think that just sounds retarded. I'm not super
yeah.
extra
No, I
religious.
agree. I
So
agree with that.
my thing is with people having an issue with only Israel, they should have an issue with America. They should have an issue with all these
Mm.
other countries because that's how countries are formed. People start wars. You lose a war, you lose land. You win a war, you win land. We won fair and square. We don't want the wars.
I mean,
We don't
not
want.
really.
You know, how would you explain it? Who started the war in 1948?
Well, yeah, but that's not what I'm. How is that relevant? I mean, to the
Well,
inception of Israel, like
that's when
that isn't
that's
like
that's when Israel was
that's when
created.
that's when it was created. But that's not number one. That's not what the war was about. And also, like, it didn't necessitate the creation of Israel. Like, I mean, I understand the want for a Jewish state. Like, it's a good idea, but slapping it in the middle of the Middle East, surrounded by like Muslim nations, is just a retarded idea.
Well, majority of the Middle
Um,
East used to actually be Christians. They were Arabized
yeah,
and
a long
colonized.
time. Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I know, but I mean, okay, look, I'll ask you this, right? Like,
sure.
if Palestinians were allowed, equal status in Israel, would there be an Israeli government? Would there be a Jewish government? No, I don't think there would, because exactly.
We'd be out. Well, because
So they are second-class citizens.
we'd be outnumbered. There wouldn't we would
Yeah,
not we would cease to exist if we let all
yeah.
the Palestinians from the West Bank and Gaza go into proper day Israel. We would be wiped out. It would be a second Holocaust for
They
sure.
would, no, I don't know the United look at how the United Nations is allowing Israel to operate. You think that if there started being mass killing of Jews in Israel, that the United Nations would just sit there and allow them to be mass killed? No, they wouldn't. If a two-state
Do you think
solution,
do you
like,
think
which
that
I
the
think is,
United Nations is actually on Israel's side? Do you listen to them at all? They're horrible.
I mean, what they say versus what they like. This is where it's like saying that the UK is. I mean, and you would say this if you're saying that about the United Nations. No, okay. For example, like in the UK, they do protest against the BBC. Jews do, and Israelis have massive protests saying the BBC is anti-Semitic. The BBC is the furthest thing from anti-Semitic. It's been like they're supposed to be impartial, and they were very much like sitting on the fence about Israel for like, even when it was absolutely clear to everyone that like even impartial journalists were showing like the horrors that have been. Okay, well, ignoring all this, like, let's just put all of that aside. I just think, hanging, like, I'm not criticizing you, you know what I mean, because you're free to do whatever you want. You live in America, land of the free. But hanging the flag now, you know what's going on there. Like, that's not a war. It's like they're just indiscriminately flattening the city like
That's
that.
not
It's
true.
like the city.
It's not true. It's not true.
It's, I mean,
What see? Do you only get your
what's your
news?
sources?
Do you? I
No, see,
watch.
that's what you're gonna say, but
I watch Al Jazeera. I watch TRT. I watch everything. I
yeah,
don't. I don't just watch
yeah,
what fits my narrative. I look at both sides and I come to the truth. I look for the truth.
yeah.
What
Okay,
would
but
be
then
what would
where
be
are you
your
looking?
reaction? Do you still have family in Israel?
Yeah, I do.
So
I was there when Iran was bombing Israel. I was stuck there.
so what would be the best reaction? October 7th. We still have our families. being held captive in tunnels. They're holding on to dead bodies as hostages, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but
Who's
I
supposed
mean,
to? What's
how
the
you
right to
wait?
that?
Are you even Israeli? Like,
My father's Israeli, and I have a lot of family that's Israeli. I'm American.
yeah. I mean, the thing is like, yeah, you know, most people are outraged who live there. At, like, not most people, but you know, there's a large proportion of Israelis who are extremely outraged at what the government's doing because it's not a campaign to get the hostages back. Like everyone knows that now. It's a
But they,
propaganda campaign.
yes,
Like
they're
maybe
mad
at the beginning
about
it was.
they're mad about the government and their reaction and their focus to get the hostages back. But they
No,
1000% support Israel, just because they're mad at Bibi for
they
not
support
not
they
prioritizing
support
the
its
hostages.
existence.
Say it.
Yes, okay, he's not prioritizing the hostages. That because the war isn't about that.
I
I mean,
don't.
at the end of the day,
That's how they feel, though. I feel that they are. You cannot negotiate with terrorists. They're not. What's Hamas we're talking about? What can we do? What they're going to come to the table and talk and promise us stuff that you know is never going to happen, if they even promise it.
but I mean, they've offered an all-for-all trade. Like they offered to end the war for an all-for-all hostages trade.
So
It's been on the table
you
multiple
believe
times.
Hamas. You believe Hamas over the people that are governing your family today in Israel.
No, I don't believe him, but I'm saying if the aim is to get the hostages back, then make a hostage deal, considering they've already made hostage deals, and
Doesn't
the
work
ones who
like
broke the
that,
peace
though.
agreement
This
were
is simple.
Israel.
How long have you lived in Israel when you were there? How long did you live there?
I've never lived there. I've just been there a lot.
You said you're half Israeli.
Yeah, my dad's Israeli.
Okay. So I mean, I think it's easy for you to say when you're not living over there. I've been studying this conflict for before October 7th happened. Gilad Shalit, for instance, he just recently got released. He was held captive for 10 years. That's why these people are protesting. It's already been 2 years. They don't want to see it
Yeah.
be another Gilad Shalit.
Do you know how many Palestinians are held in
Oh my
Israel without
God.
charge?
You lost me.
It's true. What? But it's a no. I mean, do you know how many are held in prisons there without charge? There's like
These people,
10,000 of them. Like,
but majority of these people, you're saying 10,000. You're not saying the number that maybe didn't have an actual trial yet. You're saying 10,000, like every single Palestinian that is put in prison for actual crimes. They
I'm
did
talking about
bad
the one. There's
things.
yeah, but I'm saying there's thousands that are held without charge as well.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe they're. Did you ever think like they're? You think like they're just scooping up Palestinians off the street and just blocking them up for the fuck of it?
I mean, they're killing like
I just spoke
tens of thousands
actually
of children. So
last night. I just spoke. You said hundreds of thousands of children.
I said tens of thousands of children. They're killing tens of thousands of
I
children.
just
So
spoke to a Palestinian last night that lives in Hebron.
yeah,
Not Hebron. He lives in Haifa, where my family's from.
yeah, that's where my family's from as well.
He's an Arab. He's a Muslim.
Hmm.
I asked him if he felt discriminated against. I asked him if he felt like there was apartheid, if he felt like a second class citizen. He said absolutely not. I speak to Muslims all the time that live in Israel. You should listen to them. Because
Okay,
I've
do you
never
know?
heard the only time I get one cursing me is when they're from Jordan or Egypt and they call me a Haiwan, ya kalb, uskut. They curse me. But they
Yeah,
listen to the Arabs and the Muslims, the Palestinians living in Israel proper, and they love it. They love it. Well, but I think you just got to watch where you get your news from. I do.
but I mean, like, you know what I'm saying about killing tens of thousands of children. Like, what do you have to say about that?
I
Like,
think it's war and it's heartbreaking. And my heart breaks for the people of Gaza, and they have no future under Hamas's control. If you care about those innocent people and the women, children, elderly, even the men, not all the men in there are Hamas, they have no
yeah,
future.
but
And this is before October 7th. These people have been suffering
Israel
under
has the
Hamas.
military ability to not carpet bomb them. But the thing
They're
is,
not
is like
carpet
it's
bombing
complete.
them.
Your point is completely redundant when you just go and you look at what like the Israeli secretaries of
So let's
defense and
say,
all these
go
people are
ahead, please.
saying, where they say, wait, but let me just finish this. Where they go on record and they say, we want to eliminate everyone there. We want to flatten it. You know what I
That's
mean? Trump saying,
that's
oh, it's
two
going to look like a.
That's two retards in the Israeli parliament that I can't
It's
stand.
not two. It's not two.
Ben Gavir and Smolderts. The rest of the people do not speak like this, and I don't like those people. They're crazy, and they
It's
shouldn't
not
talk like that.
just.
They make Israel look
But it's
horrible.
not only they shouldn't talk like that. That's what's happening.
It's
These
not what I'm
people
going to prove it to
doing
you
the
right now.
okay.
I have a
So you're saying
question.
the
I have a
people that
question.
wait. I'm gonna say this. I will hear your question after this, but just so you understand what I'm
Go
saying,
ahead.
you're
Go
telling me
ahead.
that the people who are at the top, who are telling the orders, are just saying this stuff, all these independent news sources who are reporting on it are just like they're biased or they're saying something else, they don't mean it.
That's not what I'm
And
saying. I'm saying there's some far-right extremists within the Israeli parliament, but at the end of the day, they don't pull the trigger. They can just put their opinions out there, and they have no control over it. They just put their opinions in a box, and majority of people disagree with it. But if so, according to the UN, 70% of the buildings in Gaza are completely flattened, leveled, right?
yeah,
70%. Why isn't 70% of the population knocked down with it if they're indiscriminately bombing? How is the number only 60,000, not including Hamas members?
I mean, I don't know. It just does one that doesn't necessitate the other. Like
Why
in
are they
being bombed for like
why are they
months, you
warning
evacuate
them?
cities
Why are they dropping leaflets and calling them if they want to kill all the Palestinians?
because it's good PR, and then they go and bomb.
It's not good PR. They don't
They
have to,
go and bomb.
according to international law, they don't have to warn before they bomb. They can just bomb.
All right,
Why
what
are they
about when they shot the aid workers and it got caught on video?
see
What about when
that's
they shot aid workers or when
so
they bombed refugee
do you have
camps?
any just like do you have any like issues with Hamas at all, or is your issues only with Israel?
Of course, but they're not going to listen to me. I mean,
So
they hate Jews. Like,
but
so why
why
would I
so
critique them?
why are you
What do I
but
get from
because
that?
as a Jew you should. Are you you're not
As a
religious?
Jew,
You should. You should.
as
These
a
are
Jew, I
your
should stand
people.
up and say Hamas is bad. Yeah, we all know fucking Hamas
No,
is bad. They're
not just
terrorists.
Hamas is not that just Hamas is bad, but there is an issue over there. When you're criticizing Israel as a Jew, it makes people like you got to think about what you're doing. We're a very small minority. We're only 0.2% of the world's population. We only have each other.
Mm.
So it hurts me when I hear people speaking like this. I trust me, I have my criticisms against Israel. I have lots of criticisms against Israel. But when we're such a small minority, this is when we should be coming together. You don't have to love everything Israel's doing or everything that Israel stands for, but just don't only be criticizing Israel and not the other side. I have criticisms for both sides.
Yeah, I know, but like the fact of the matter is that like there's just thousands of kids and women who are just dying every day because Israel is just going in and
Are
just
there any
bombing
other
them.
countries that you have issues with a bunch of children dying? Any other countries that come to mind?
Yeah, Sudan, UK, America.
No, not
Like,
America, UK doesn't compare to Sudan, Congo, Yemen, and no one
yeah,
talks
no,
about it.
but how do you think those countries got? How do you think those countries got the way they are? Because of the UK, the Netherlands,
Okay, but never mind that.
America.
Never mind that. It doesn't make you question
Never mind that.
60,000, and that's including Hamas members. It's not all civilians of 60,000. Well, let's just run with that number because that's what everyone's doing. 60,000, right? Compared to
Mhm.
millions in Sudan, Yemen, Congo, and no one is talking about it. No one gives a shit about it. Do you ever question why? Why is everyone focused on Israel?
I mean, it's just, yeah, I do understand why.
Why? Why?
Because Israel's United Nations like associate, they're like main stage, and
Why?
yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that I don't
You,
know.
you
Yeah,
have to know why. It has nothing to do with the United Nations plays a big role in it. Why the focus is so much on Israel, but you know why.
also because what power does the UN have over Sudan other than to invade there? You know what I mean? With Israel, they can sanction and say stuff to the government
That,
and say
that's
we're not going to give you any aid anymore. What can they do to Sudan? We're
can
going
you
to
answer
invade
though?
you.
Do you not have an answer, or can you answer?
I just said that was an answer.
That's not an answer. Why is everyone
It
focused on
is an
it?
answer.
And if it's only
Well, because
60,000, which is still horrible, 60,000 compared to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in Sudan alone. Actual
if you're just
famine,
changing the subject, now we're talking about Israel.
yes, but I'm asking you why. If you're everyone's your main point is the dead kids. So let's care about all dead kids around the world, right? Let's not just focus on Israel. Why are we only focused on Israel when there's hundreds of thousands in Yemen and Sudan? Why are we only focused on Israel? What's going on here?
People are just talking about it more. Like,
Because the Jews are involved. That's why. That's why. Even with the whole Charlie Kirk, Israel did it. Everything. It's always the Jews. It's so stupid. It's like
yeah,
you can't tell me you haven't seen this.
no,
Still have
exactly. I think it's stupid. I wouldn't engage. I don't engage with fucking idiots who buy into Jewish conspiracy theories because they're
but
just stupid. However,
a lot of people will hold you very close to their heart, knowing that you're a Jew and you're criticizing Israel the way that you are, but only Israel, nothing else. So I would just, I want you to still have
I
those
have
same
criticism.
criticisms.
I have criticism for other stuff. You just have an Israeli flag flying in your room, so I'm obviously going to speak about
Well,
that.
but you didn't criticize the Palestinians at all.
Well, yeah, because you're not fucking Palestinian. So
Well,
why
that's
would I
because,
sit in an
well,
echo chamber with you and we'll circle jerk and just be like those fucking evil Hamas? Yeah,
but I'm
they're
not,
evil. They're terrible. October
not all
7th was terrible.
Palestinians are Hamas. But when you brought up this flag and your criticism towards Israel was towards the Palestinians, so it's very much so a part of this conversation. There should have been some criticism on their end too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't know what it achieves by me saying that I think they're terrible. Of course, I think they're terrible. Like, yeah, I just don't think. I just don't think that this is number one. I don't think it's proportional force. Number two, I think the Israeli government has made it very clear that their intention right now is Bibi wants to keep the war going. He wants to flatten the city. He just wants to eradicate them. That's why he, cuts off water. That's why he doesn't was trying not to let journalists in. Was trying not to let food in.
There's
Now
journalists
you
in
can say, oh
Gaza.
no, food is good.
There's
Now
journalists.
there is. Now there is. Now they're allowed.
There's been journalists in Gaza. If there weren't journalists in Gaza, all the journalists that were dead, people wouldn't be crying about it. Just like there's no journalists on the front line of the Ukraine and Russia war. This is normal stuff that happens in war. But no one talks about Ukraine and Russia and media not being allowed in there. Just Israel. Just think about it. I gotta go, but think about it.
Yeah,
The same thing with the media is happening in Ukraine and Russia. No one talks about it. They only care about
yeah.
the Jews. And they would, at the end of the day, you would be a target too, even when you side with them. Once the people who are pro-Israel would be gone,
I'm not
gone too.
siding with anyone. This isn't sides. It's not a game. I just
Think about your family that has to live next to these people that want them dead. That's all I ask.
that's true. All right.
You have a good
Take
night.
care.
I wish you nothing but the
You too.
best. Have a good
You
one.
too. You too. Bye bye.